and were directly. In addition, brief members of the inspection, survey and quantity surveying teams. You explained to your reviewers how, with new or complex tasks, you sought the views of team members and ensured the agreement before these tasks were carried out. When dealing with non-performing members of the staff, you explained how you would take them aside and in a one-to-one interview inquire after what the problems might be that were that caused them, that was causing their failure to perform. Stop. Reviewers were satisfied that you met the requirements of the attribute management and leadership. Four, independent judgment and responsibility. On the CRB and other projects, you explained how on many occasions you were sometimes instructed to carry out tasks with what you thought were inadequate resources in terms of plant, labour and materials. Stop. After reviewing the task and checking the resources required, you would discuss with your superior your concerns. In some cases, he showed how the work might actually be achieved with the resources allowed, but frequently you were able to persuade him that your assessment was appropriate, and notwithstanding the additional costs that might be involved, your methodology was accepted, Your reviewers were satisfied that you met the requirements of the attribute, independent judgment and responsibility. Five, commercial ability. You explain the design work you carried out and or managed in your work for ACL, but were unable to explain how you would estimate the work packages that will be involved in the analysis and design of a typical project. The stages of the work, the nature and number of the deliverables that will be involved, and the staff time that would have to be costed. Stop. Although you were able to explain what a design failure meant to the designer, and that insurance might cover such matters, you are unable to explain that such insurance covered specifically negligence, the failure to exercise reasonable skill, care and diligence in the design, but that a design and build contractor was responsible for fitness for purpose both of the design and the construction. Accordingly, reviewers were not satisfied that you met the requirements of commercial ability. 6. Health, safety and welfare. You managed satisfactorily the day-to-day issues on site when working on the CRB project. Stop. However, when determining a preferred solution to the problem of a proposed new water main that clashed with a foundation, you were not only unable to quantify the symbols you use for comparing individual criteria, open brackets, see section 2 above, close brackets, you seem quite prepared to place appearance of the various options above safety, by giving it more symbols, but then could not explain why this should be so. Your reviewers were not satisfied that you considered safety any more than a series of procedural requirements to be met, rather than a fundamental property of a project that you should actively support. Accordingly, your reviewers were not satisfied that you met the requirements of the attribute health, safety and welfare. 7. Sustainable development. In your professional review report, you explain the design work you had done with ACL as part of the contractor's design team on geotechnical work. 7. Sustainable development. Most of your professional review and presentation was concerned with sustainable development and site husbandry, saving water, minimising noise, dust, disturbance, etc. However, when questioned about development generally in Hong Kong and the environmental, social and economic factors of development in Hong Kong generally, you acknowledge some of the anomalies, but explain that the Hong Kong authorities recognise the potential social problems of high-rise density housing and were conducting studies into the problem, but had concluded that providing a reasonable accommodation of any sort was a higher priority at this time. Your reviewers were satisfied that you met the requirements of the attribute sustainable development. 8. Interpersonal skills and communication. Except as noted in the above sections, you communicated clearly and well, orally and in your presentation and professional review. Your CPD and DPA were comprehensive and relevant. You explained the importance of accepting and encouraging diversity in the construction industry of Hong Kong, and you were active in promoting the construction industry and the profession of civil engineering, both in and outside your job activities. Your reviewers were satisfied that you met the requirements of the attribute interpersonal skills and communication. 9. Professional commitment. When asked about the ICE Professional Code of Conduct, you explained how you considered integrity to be the most important because it underpins all the other requirements. Etc. Your reviewers were satisfied that you met the requirements of the attribute professional commitment. Assessment of the written exercise. Of the two topics offered to you, you chose number, title. End.